Tell us about being the first. What does that feel like?
Well, I'm still trying to get used to it, but I've been the first before, but this position I've never been in, where I'm running an agency. And knowing that over 100 and some years there have only been males doing this job, I take it very responsibly, the job that I have to do, but I'm really humbled by it. I have been preparing myself for a position such as this, and so because I am the first, it just shows that perseverance does pay off, and that the voters saw what I could bring to the table. And I don't think they looked at me as being the first, maybe some did, but they looked at my credentials, they looked at my qualifications, they looked at the vision that I had for the agency. And as a result, they said, she may be the first, but I believe that she can do the job. So it's an awesome responsibility. And as I stated before, I'm still grasping what it means, but I know that I am honored to be in this position.
What is that hard work like? And what, because you didn't want to do this, like this wasn't like your dream.
No.
So I'm not gonna say like you didn't want to do this. This was not your dream, but this was your purpose. And so we hear about that all the time, about your purpose and your calling, and you are fully walking in it. You have chosen to step into it. You retired, and then you went into higher education, and then you came back, all of that. And it's just, it led you back to this major call.
So what it means is that there have been a lot of sleepless nights. It's been a lot of time away from my family. And to do this job and to do it to the best of my ability, you need that family support system. And so there were times where my husband was the one that was taking them to school or cooking dinner or going to, after school programs. So it meant sacrifice in that respect. But because of his support, I was able, not only, I had already had my bachelor's degree, but I was able to attain my master's degree in criminal justice administration, but also later get a PhD in educational leadership. But I was also able to attend some of the most elite leadership schools in the country, like the FBI National Academy or Department of Homeland Security leadership course and others. And I knew that it took hard work because my grandmother instilled in me that anything worth having was worth working for. And so I was able to put in the work, and because I was able to put in the work, others saw the hard work that I was putting in to whatever job that I had. And so when they needed somebody to be a worker, then I was able to step in. And so I gained experience that way. And so it prepared me for various, positions of leadership within a male-dominated field. And so as a result, I was able to ascend the ladder at the Milwaukee Police Department, and I have been able to, be promoted or elected to sheriff. It has been a lot of hard work, but it's been rewarding work because I've been able to work with the community. And I've always considered myself a public servant. And so as a public servant, your job is to serve the public in whatever that capacity is. And as you stated, it wasn't my chosen field. Yes, my degree was in criminal justice, but I did not plan to have a career in law enforcement, meaning being a police officer and arresting people and going up the ladder that way. I did want to get into probation and parole, but at that time there wasn't a very high turnover rate. And then I wanted to, get experience and go to law school so that I can help those who might not be able to help themselves, but also to assist my mom with legal fees for my brother because he kept getting into trouble. And so as a result, it led me here, and I'm just so appreciative of this opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So you were born, you raised in Arkansas.
Yes.
So like back and forth between Arkansas and Milwaukee. What are some other family values? Because we know that your grandmother was very special to you.
Yes.
She helped raise you.
Yes.
What are some other family values that you believe that has helped you to get to this moment?
My faith in God. She instilled that into me very early on, as well as get a good education. And education is going to take you out of Arkansas and take you places that you have never gone before. But also the value of hard work. Anything that is worth having is worth working for. And so as a result, I started working at age 9. That was my first job, and I was mowing the lawn of the church, and I also assisted a neighbor with cleaning the truck stop where the truckers who are going through would stop and rest. And so as a result, I understood hard work early on, and she bought us some childcraft books, spent $500 and got World Book and childcraft. And so we could read and look. When we couldn't read, we could just look at the pictures, and then it spurred our learning. And so those are 3 of the pillars of my life. I try to take them with me wherever I go.
Mm-hmm. And are those the things that you pass down to your 3 children?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love that. You know, you talked about your husband and how he has supported you to help you to get to where you are today. But like, what does he mean to you? You know, you guys both are successful in your respective fields.
He's my yin to my yang, and he is my support system. I can always count on him to lift me up, and you know, he is just a true warrior. He's a Christian, most of all, and as a result, and a great family man. And so as a result, he's going to do what he can do to make sure that I'm uplifted, that I'm supported, that I have what I need. Early on in our relationship, I said, hey, this is my career trajectory, and are you willing to support me? And he said, absolutely. And he's shown that, and therefore we've been married for over 34 years. And you know, whatever I need, he's there. You know, I don't have to get up and cook breakfast. He'll cook breakfast for me. He'll cook dinner. But you know, it's like, you don't have to do all that. Let me do something for you. So it's a partnership, you know. And so, you know, it's been a good ride. You know, 34 years.
34 years.
Yes.
And still got you smiling.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And so, being in this male-dominated field, your predecessor, you know, Sheriff Ernell Lucas, you know, what is that friendship like? I know you can't give all the details, but you know, what is that friendship like? You know, the brother-sister friendship, and how has that helped you to have the confidence? You know, not saying that you didn't have it, because clearly you have it to be where you are today. But what has he helped you, or, you know, some nuggets he shared with you to say, you know what, you got it. You know, you got it, and this is why I'm choosing you. You know, what are those conversations like?
Well, he's been a friend for a very long time. We worked together on the police department. Not worked in the same division, but we worked and got a chance to know one another. And so as a result, he was always a step or 2 ahead of me. And so he became my mentor. And so I can watch the way he would do things, and I can learn from him. how to do it. And so when he asked me to be the chief deputy, it was because of the relationship that we had already built up, the fact that he knew my work ethic, he knew what I was capable of, and he knew my desire to help the citizens of Milwaukee County. And so it was a natural transition as far as, me coming over to assist him. But, he has just been just a true friend. He has been a good boss. He left the police department and went to work for Major League Baseball, and he would glean some nuggets from there and shared with us. And so, based upon all of that, it's been just good learning from him, and being able to show my appreciation to him for the things that I learned from him. Look at where it has guided me. And so I'm just thankful for the opportunity.
Yes, what an opportunity, because often we do have our mentors who look like us. They're women, but that is an example of having a male mentor, a brother, friendship that you can look up to and talk to and say, hey, how do you deal with this situation? And how do you deal with that situation? Now, you deal with situations every day.
Yes.
That's a part of your job, to solve problems. And one of the major problems in our city, in the city of Milwaukee, is the driving. Of course, it's crime like any other city, but the driving, what's your take on that today? Where do we stand today?
Today we can do better. I mean, we have lost ground, I would say, in that when we took driver's ed out of the schools, then the kids who would normally be able to learn the proper driving techniques, they don't learn them as quickly as they used to. And then you have the adults who have bad driving techniques as well. And so law enforcement is trying to catch up. Meaning that when we see them out there, it's just so numerous, and we're trying to make a dent in it, but with us working together collaboratively, whether we are working with our community partners and we're talking about education, enforcement, or engineering, that is helping. All of it is helping. But when you can't walk within your neighborhood because you're afraid that someone is going to, drive recklessly and then hit you and maybe take your life, or even in the parks or on the expressway, that is, that's not a good feeling. And so we want to make sure that we're working with all of our partners, our law enforcement partners, our community partners, to make sure that we have a safe community, a safe county. And so what we're doing right now, we have a reckless driving initiative where we're focusing on those areas where we see most of our reckless driving on the expressway. But we're also educating the public as to, hey, this is where we're going to be. And so we're telling them this is what reckless driving is, and if you continue to do what you're doing, we will arrest you because it's a danger to others. And I'm getting ready to reach out to the other municipalities so that we can come together and see what each one is doing, and then come together and see how we can work better, more collaboratively, so that we can have a better handle on the reckless drivers. It's just sad that, that's the sign of the times, that some people think that it's fun, but it's not fun, it's dangerous. And so we need to make sure that we are enforcing the law, but educating others as to what they need to do as well.
And thinking about it, because you're a parent as well.
Yes.
Like, what would you say to mothers You know, what are some advice, or have you had any conversations? Are you open to having any conversations with mothers in the community as it relates to their young men speeding and driving, and even some of the young women I hear? Like, what would you say to parents? And what parents should be saying to their children?
I've had some of those conversations when I was on the campaign trail, and I would go to different community meetings, and I would go door to door, and we would have those conversations. And they were hard conversations because some of the mothers knew that their kids were the ones that were involved. But you have to have those conversations with your kids. If you don't stop this behavior, it could be your life or somebody else's, or you can spend the rest of your life confined. And so what I would suggest that the mothers do is if they have kids who of school age, make sure that they get them into a driver's education program so that they can learn the proper way to drive a car. I drive every day in the evening time, and I see people driving with their high beams on, and it's like you can't see because they don't know. They just get behind a car and they don't have a driver's license. But also encourage the parents to ensure that their kids have good driving habits, even though they may go to driver's education class. You still have to enforce that in them, and they let them know that they need a driver's license. They should have a driver's license if they're going to be driving on the street. But responsibility, and it starts at home, and it starts with the parents, and it filters down to the children. But not just them, we know that there are other family members that are driving recklessly. And so we need to have those conversations with them as well. If you really love them, then you have those hard conversations with them. It's not going to be easy, but I'd rather have that conversation with them and see them alive later on, or see them not incarcerated later on because they may have hit another car head on, and then that person is seriously injured or killed. So definitely will make want to encourage the mothers to have those conversations with their kids and with their other family members and friends as to the responsibility when you get behind the wheel. It's like a 2,000-pound weapon. And so people have to realize that. And so, as they're driving, they have to drive offensively as well as defensively.
And I wanted to, touch on specifically with the mothers, because we do have a lot of mothers who are single parents, but we also have a lot of homes who have both of the parents in, so I know you're speaking to not only the mothers, but you're also speaking to the fathers, both parents as well. In your upbringing, you're from Arkansas, grandma raised you, mom, and you had to go into foster care. And so you kind of have that relatability with some of those children who grew up struggling, from home to home, or unsure about this, unsure about that, but you persevered. Like, so what can you say to the people who feel that, they're hopeless right now? Because the role that you hold, you didn't even imagine that you would go this far, in your position, but you knew it had to be something deep down in you. You knew that you were going to be great, right?
No.
I mean, because you had the values. So it's not always, what's around you, but you had those values. What are you saying to people? And not just the children, but what are you saying to us? What are you saying to women? What are you saying to all of us who are unsure? And now we see you as, the sheriff of Milwaukee County,
A lot of it, well, for me, it started with my foundation because of what my grandmother instilled in me. But then it was perseverance. Sometimes they would compare me with my mother, and they never had good things to say about my mother. So I wanted to make sure that the life I led was different from the life that she led. And no fault, I'm not trying to lay any blame on her. She was not ready to be a parent. And so as a result, others had to step up in the gap. And we have so many people who are stepping up in the gap for others who can't take care of their children. And so it's not, to me, it's not a shame to say that I was a foster kid. I tell anybody that I struggled. I was a foster kid, but because I had people who saw the value of me, and instilled in me that I was here for a reason, and for a purpose. And so you have to find that out. And all the challenges that I have gone through have made it, I won't say easier, but have made it better when I'm going through other rough times, because I've gotten through so much. When I look back on my life and I see where the Lord has brought me from, but brought me to, I am just encouraged, and I just want to encourage other people. You don't know most people don't know why they're here, but find that purpose, find that reason, and know that it is for His good, and work towards that. Sometimes it takes a tragedy for us to find our purpose and to step or to lean into it. And so I just want people to know that when you're down on yourself and you're thinking that I can't do it, yes, you can. You just might have to just put that one step in front of the other, in front of the other. So take baby steps and figure it out.
Yes, say that again. Just take the baby steps,
and just know that, it's not a sin to, there's nothing wrong to ask for a handout or ask for help. I won't say handout. I should just say ask for help. There are so many more resources out here now than there were later on that people can utilize. And so just ask for it. Just put your pride in your pocket and just ask for it. But if you pray about it, the Lord will reveal to you what you need to do.
Isn't that a word?
Yeah.
Isn't that a word? Your perseverance is one of the words that is the story of your life. And we just appreciate who you are to the community. I hear the passion, and I see, the hope that you have for our city. What does the city of Milwaukee mean to you?
It's my home. And so I want, wherever you live, in the city or in the county, for everyone to have the same quality of life, to have a good quality of life. And so as a result, I want to work to ensure that we do that. And, if I need to partner with this group, that group, or whatever I need to do, I'm willing to do that. But this city is my home. And so I had an opportunity once I retired from the police department to go back or to go any place, but I chose to stay here because Milwaukee, again, is my home. And so when you think of something as your home, you think about it with care. You want the best for it, and that's what I want for the city of Milwaukee and for Milwaukee County. And so with all of us working together, I know that it can be a lot better than what it is.
Mm-hmm. Servant leadership. It is like, that is you. I often hear, and I've read, and I've heard you talk about collaboration in the community. Do you have a collaboration kit for us? Like, you have something to give? Because it's just a central theme in your leadership style. And so I'm looking forward to see how these collaborations continue to roll out. Do you have anything to say about any new collaborations?
I don't have a kit. It's about building relationships and talking with people. Again, I was just talking last night to a family about domestic violence. And so that is one of my passions. I used to be on Sojourner's board. I used to be one of the commissioners for the city. And so I do want to do something around domestic violence. So I'm looking forward to that collaboration, but also working collaboratively with others so that we can raise our kids to, so that they can reach their full potential, and so I'm working with this team out of Dallas, actually, to bring a program to Milwaukee County, and so I'm looking forward to that collaboration. But just locally, still working with the other municipalities, still working with other community groups, just to make sure that we are all dotting our I's and crossing our T's. A lot of us are doing something, but I think if we came together and worked together, we can get more done. Okay. And I don't like meetings just to meet. I want there to be some action behind it, and then to see the progress that's being made. And so that's the reason why I go out and build relationships, so that we can have those collaborations and so that we can make it better for somebody else that's coming, behind me. Mm-hmm.
So I hear and read about the statistics, and I hear you often talk about the need for more people in positions. What's the stats today? And then secondly, what can people do to aspire to have this type of role? Because you're doing everything you can. So you say, I'm the first, particularly as a woman, and I won't be the last. So what should our youth be doing to prepare for these roles?
Well, first of all, what we need to do is to make sure that we're mentoring our youth, and so that they see us in these roles. And so when they are thinking about, hey, what do I want to do with my career? Then, or what do I want to do as a career? Then they can look around their neighborhoods and see someone that looks like them and know that it's attainable. But when we know that there's someone that wants or is interested in pursuing the job that we have, then we do what we can to mentor them and let them know, hey, this is what it took for me. And so they can start planning, hey, this is what I need to do. I need to get this education, I need to, whatever it is. And so it's going to help with representation. I think it would increase the number of definitely minorities and women in these fields that are more male dominated. And so as far as the statistics, I think it would, the numbers will continue to grow and go up. And so, but it really starts with us being out there and showing our young people that these jobs are attainable, and give them something to strive to be, but also supporting them, not tearing them down and talking about them and you're not this and you're not that. Let's support them. Yes, people have challenges, but let's work to make sure that we are helping them in whatever way we can.
Any final words that you have that you want to share? We know you're a woman of faith. You're a woman who persevered, and we didn't even get to touch on just how you are a cancer survivor. Yes. And so many people can relate to that. Your story is vast. It's so much that amazing things that you've done and so much that you will do. Anything else that you want to share?
Well, I'm glad that you did mention the cancer, because a lot of people, they hear the C word and then they think, it's a death sentence. But I had stage 4 breast cancer. I had my left breast removed. I had that surgery. I went through chemotherapy. I went through radiation, 33 bouts. My appointment was at 7:30 in the morning. By 9 o'clock, I was at work, and I worked a full day when I had radiation. And so I did it, and I survived. But all of that is about your mindset. If you think that you can't do something, you might as well not try, because you won't be able to do it, because you've already told yourself that I can't do it. So I would say it's better, well, it may be a struggle, but I'm going to give it a shot, and then just keep working at it. And so we have to remember that it's about our mindset. And when we're talking to our kids, that it's about their minds and what they internalize. And so let's give them good things to internalize, so that they can feel loved, they can feel supported, and so they can be all that they can be. No, it's not an easy journey, but it's never been easy for us. We've always had challenges, and we've always risen for the most part, from those challenges. And what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And so as a result, let's put our faith in action. If we say we believe, let's put that in action, and then let's get it done.
Is that going to be the slogan? Faith in action.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, faith in action. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for coming on Lincoln All Women.